we on? Good morning, everybody. Maybe not. Testing, 1, 2. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our news conference. We'll be starting here in a moment. Little housekeeping before we get started. Would you please check your telephones and be sure that they are on the silent mode? The format of the news conferences are going to be the same throughout the morning. We'll start with the coach first, and he or she will have up to 15 minutes, and then the student athletes will join. He will leave, or she, and then we'll start with our student athletes for up to 15 minutes. Two things we'd appreciate very much as a courtesy to our student athletes and coach. When you ask your first question, would you please state your name and affiliation? After the first question, it's not necessary to do that a second time. And we will get a microphone to you because we're recording this for ASAP, and it'll be important that we get a microphone to you. So if you'll put your hand up, I will designate which one of you are going to ask the question, and we'll get started. Looks like Coach Schaefer's here. We'll get him up, and we'll get started. We are now joined by head coach Vic Schaefer. Coach, congratulations on a great season and your thoughts about the tournament.
Thank you very much. I'm awfully proud of my team and excited about the opportunity to be here in Oklahoma City at the Sweet 16. And certainly we have a big test in front of us, but this time of year everybody's really good. And I'm excited about my group. I think we're playing well. We had a great weekend in Starkville. Tremendous atmosphere for our two ball games. Played two really good opponents, and so we know that coming in, we've really got to deal with a well-coached Washington team. I've known Mike a long time. He and I go way back to our Arkansas days when we coached there back in '97 to 2003. He does a tremendous job. He's one of the great coaches in our country. I have to throw in he's one of the great young coaches as well because he's 10 years younger than me. But doing a great job, and obviously they've got Kelsey Plum, who's the all-time leading scorer in the history of our great game. So she's got pieces around her, I think, that really makes him unique and special. He does a lot of things with them. You know, I compare it to playing like against James Harden in the NBA. They run a lot of stuff that the Rockets run. I mean, they spread the floor. They play off of her. She's smart enough to find who's open, and those kids can make shots. And so you watch the other night against a really good Oklahoma team, another well-coached team, and I mean, they just really played well, scored over 100 points, and everything ran off of Kelsey, but it was a lot like watching the Houston Rockets play in my mind. And I'm a Rocket fan, so it's easy for me to compare, being a Houston boy. So it's easy for me to compare them, and that's a tall task, as everybody in the big league has found out. So, but really just excited again about the opportunity. So proud of our program, where we are today and where we were 5 years ago. Proud of my fan base. I expect a big crowd from Mississippi State coming here to watch us play. And again, I got great kids, hardworking, determined, and obviously our league has prepared us for this moment. So I know I'm on a ramble, but you know, when you come from my league and you play the rival, we play 16 rival games every month for 2 months straight. And when you do that, it prepares you for this moment.
Okay, we'll take our first question on the left-hand side, about halfway back.
Hey, Coach. Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Two-parted question. Your guards, NCAA tournaments often when you need great guard play, and that seems like they've really come together, especially of late. So what's been your impression of them? And secondly, I know you hired Dianna a couple of years ago to coach that position. How has she impacted what they do?
Well, thank you, Jenny. And first of all, our guards have been really special all year. I mean, I think at our level, in our league, you win with great guard play. And certainly we're blessed with a couple of aircraft carriers down low that don't hurt you. But, you know, guard play has always been kind of our bread and butter, our base of everything we do, especially from a pressure defensive standpoint. And so we've got tremendous depth at guard, 2 at every position, and 3 at 1. And so that's probably where it starts for us. And those kids are playing well right now, especially offensively. You know, I think that's what everybody's seeing right now is that we've got some kids making shots, and that's what's been fun from an offensive standpoint with our group. As far as Dianna goes, you know, Dianna was, as is my entire staff, I feel like I have the best staff in the country. I mean, Johnny Harris has been with me since day one when we came to Mississippi State 5 years ago, and she's been so instrumental. She's got to be one of the top 5 assistants in the country. I mean, just going off of what's happened in the past 5 years, where we were, where we are today, and how important she is to our program, and how many things she does for our program. And again, she's in charge of our post players, and everybody wants to talk about how improved our post game is. Dianna was a home run as well. What she's done with our point guards, with Jazz and Morgan, that's her position that she handles, and she's done a tremendous job with those 2, bringing them along. You know, I think everybody knew Morgan is pretty special. I think she's had a breakout season and really taken her game to another level as far as the points she's averaged. But I think Morgan has, Jazz has come on late, and that's been a project throughout the course of the year. She's just a sophomore, but Dianna spent some tireless days with her, you know, just talking to her about the mental piece as well as the physical piece. That's what a good coach will do. It's, you know, these post players, for instance, you drag people up and down the floor, you do the dirty work, you get the rebounds, then you sprint the floor and you're open and the guard doesn't give you the ball. Well, that's mentally hard on some people. Same thing with point guards. They get the blame for everything. And so I think Dianna's done a tremendous job with Morgan and Jazz from a coaching standpoint of bringing those kids along. She's a tireless worker, works hard in recruiting. I mean, she's a great coach. It was a home run, as my entire staff has been.
Question on the front
Coach
right.
Brian Brinkley, KFOR TV in Oklahoma City. Kind of a follow-up question about Dianna. First of all, your memories of her as a player when she was at OU in your early days at A&M. Second thing is, Dianna was kind of quiet as a player, didn't say a whole lot. I'm curious about how she's matured and progressed now as a coach now.
Well, I'll answer the second one first. She's very real, and I love that about her. She speaks her mind, and she has so many good things to say. I've walked out of team meetings with her before, patting her on the back, going, "Hey, that was a great comment. Our kids needed to hear that." And so I'm going to guess from that standpoint. I didn't know her from that side as a player, but you know, maybe that's why she's so good with my point guards, because really both my point guards are quiet, and that's a bad position to be quiet at. So maybe she's seen and learned from her own experiences from hearing from probably Coach Cole for 4 years. You got to speak up. You got to have a presence about you. You got to run the team. Maybe that's an evolution for her, that where she is today in her coaching career. So she's not quiet anymore, and that's a good thing. The first question.
Just about her as a player, memories
Oh,
of
yeah. No, hey, she reminds me all the time about how she dominated us for 3 years. Now, I told her the first 2 years didn't count because we just weren't very good at A&M, and a lot of people dominated us. I think we got her one time her senior year, if I'm not mistaken, and I tend to want to talk about that game more than the other 6 that she probably beat us. So, but, she was a heck of a player, competitor, big, strong, physical point guard, hard to deal with, hard to handle. Whenever I get my head down a little bit, she reminds me of how miserable she was as a point guard at Oklahoma when we played her with our defense. And so she remembers those days. And again, I think as a competitor, she brings that to the table as a coach. And that's what I like about her. I call it that bulldog mentality, which happens to fit well at Mississippi State.
Question on the rear left.
Coach Andy Lee with WTVA in Tupelo. What did you learn from last year's experience, and how much have you drawn on that coming back to a Sweet 16?
You know, Andy, I believe that good Lord makes you go through some things to help you prepare for the next opportunity. And certainly last year's experience at this time wasn't the best, but at the same time, I think our kids not only learned from that experience for this game, I think they learned from it the entire season. And so I think it's obviously prepared us. Again, you live in my league. You live with dealing with that, having to deal with the players we deal with, night in, night out, the coaches. So many Hall of Fame coaches. It's all that gets you ready. But I think certainly this time last year, what we dealt with going to Connecticut and having to play, I don't think it can do anything but help you get ready for this opportunity.
Question on the rear.
Hey, Coach,
Right.
Tom Ebel from WCBI Sports
Tom.
in Columbus. You already kind of compared her to James Harder. Playing Kelsey Plum in Washington is similar to the Houston Rockets. In your experience of coaching, have you ever seen any kind of comparison? I know the comparison game is overplayed, but anyone that kind of compares to Kelsey Plum or how she play, what you've seen from her?
Tom, actually, I had to go against Jackie Stiles 3 times at Arkansas. So I've got experience dealing with both of the latest 2 all-time leading scorers. So we had a couple of bad experiences with her and 1 good one. So I'm hoping tomorrow, in my only opportunity with her, we have a good one. But it's again, I think I deal with some pretty good ones throughout the course of our season and throughout my career in 32 years. Obviously, Jackie Stiles, Kelsey Plum, those are 2 of the best to ever play the game. And from an offensive standpoint, they are just so multidimensional. Their coaches use them in such a good way, smart, and so it's a tall task. There's no question about it. But to answer your question, I have some experience with that. Yes, sir.
We have a question in the middle front.
Hey Vic, Robbie Falk from Starkville Daily. I know a lot's been made about the starting lineups and changing things up, but how much did you feel like the 2-week break kind of helped reset the team and get them back focused, I guess, and starting the new season in the tournament?
Sure. Well, I think the 2 weeks certainly gave us an opportunity. One, I gave the kids 2 days off, which we desperately needed. And then even the 3rd day, all we did was shoot. We didn't do anything else. So I think that kind of rejuvenated us a little bit. Then it also gave me a chance to work on some different things and some different combinations. Again, Robbie, a lot's been made of it. But the bottom line is those kids that made an impact starting have been making an impact coming off the bench all year. They've made big shots all year long. They just did it earlier in the game instead of later in the game. And that's really how we look at it. I mean, it's who's out there when we're jumping center, I don't think bothers any of our kids. I think they just want to win. And I give them a lot of credit for being that way, being unselfish, and just wanting what's best for our team. So the 2-week period, while I'm not a fan of it, I don't like it, but in this situation, in this circumstance, it probably worked out best for Mississippi State, no doubt about it.
This is the final question for Coach on the front left.
Logan Lowry, Tupelo Daily Journal. Obviously, a couple of Washington's players jump off the page with their statistics. How good is their supporting cast around them?
Well, the whole group is good. I mean, the whole team is good. Tremendous, tremendous. I think they're a tremendous basketball team. Obviously, they play in a great league, also out in the Pac-12, and but their supporting cast, they know their roles and they execute it very well. And Mike puts them in a position where they can do what they do best, and that's all we as coaches. That's our job, is to put our kids in the best spot possible, in the best place possible, where they can be successful. And I think that's what Mike's done with this team. So, those guys can all shoot it. Romeo can all shoot. They can shoot it. They've got kids that can do a number of different things and hurt you in different ways. And he puts them in the right spot to do it. So the challenge for us is in a 3-day period, try to figure it out and be prepared to deal with it. And I think my staff's done a tremendous job of getting us ready.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much. We appreciate your comments. Good luck. See you tomorrow.
All right, praise the Lord and go Dogs.
Okay, we're now joined by our student athletes, Dominique Dillingham, Blair Schaefer, and Victoria Vivians. Ladies, we're going to take questions from the floors, and we're going to ask that if they want you to answer a question specifically, they'll ask you by name. If they want everybody, they'll give an order that they want them in. So, first question for our student athletes.
Hey guys, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. I don't know if Dominique, Blair, both or either of you want to answer this, but Dianna Jackson's role in coaching you guards, what have you all seen as the biggest impact she's had on that position, what you guys do?
She keeps us disciplined. She expects a lot out of us, and she doesn't accept anything short of perfection. And we work on a lot of ball handling and just getting shots off of plays, and she's really good about footwork and making sure we rub shoulders with screens and just the smallest things. So I feel like her coming in and just making us focus on the little things has really made a difference in the long run.
Dominique, do you want to make a comment?
I agree with Blair. She doesn't let us cut corners. She's really tough on us, and I think she expects a lot from us. And I don't think she lets us make excuses for anything. And she holds us accountable. And I think she's a great leader for our program. And she's a lot. She brings a lot to the table, and it's awesome learning from her.
Before we take the next question, it's very important that you identify which student athlete first, because we're doing all of the remote context of the text, and it's very difficult if the person doesn't know who's speaking. So, with that said, right.
From WCBI Sports in Columbus. This question is really for all of you. This is your second straight Sweet 16. How did last year, what are some things you took away from last year that have prepared you for this time around?
Victoria, why don't you start, and then we'll come down the table.
Last year, we lost in the Sweet 16. We were very excited to get there because it was like our first time. But this year, I feel like we expect more. We coming into the Sweet 16, and I feel like we can go further than the Sweet 16. So we're happy that we're here, but we want to go further.
Just like she said, we're happy to be here, but we expect to go further. So it's just another game for us, and we're just ready to play, and we're focused in practice, and we just want to get better and keep competing.
Blair?
This year, I think marks a milestone for our team and just what a veteran team is supposed to do. And I feel like every year you're supposed to build on what you've done in the previous years. And just with the players that we have on our team, I feel like we're getting the job done and we're focusing one game at a time. And we just need to continue to do that in order to reach our goal, which is to get to the Final Four this year.
Question in the middle, left.
Dominique, I know a lot of people were talking about Kelsey Plum and what she's able to do offensively. Obviously, much more than just a scorer. What makes her so good, I guess? What makes her so difficult to defend in your eyes?
She's really versatile. She can spot up shoot. She can shoot off the dribble. She can get all the way to the rim. And I think one of the things that sets her apart is she loves to get the ball to her teammates. A lot of times she beats her defender and she gets the pass to one of her teammates and they knock down a three. So I think that's what really makes her dangerous. She can set up her teammates for shots, and she also rebounds.
In the rear, left.
Kyle Fredrickson with the Oklahoman. Question for Dominique. For one of your teammates, this is a bit of a homecoming with Roe Johnson starting her career out at Oklahoma State. What has she brought to the team this year, and how do you see her kind of progressing as she becomes a senior next season?
Roe has brought a lot of offense to our team. She's just a great player overall. She can shoot, she can get to the rim, she can do everything. And as I see her career progressing, I see her becoming an even better defensive player. She's pretty good on defense right now. So I think moving on to next year, I see her becoming the lockdown defender for our team and her role just expanding.
Question on the front.
Bob Carstad and HailState.com. Blair, I know Washington kind of Plum-centric, as I think your dad compared him to James Harden and the Houston Rockets, whereas y'all, it can be anybody any given night, and sort of depth is what does it for you. How do those teams kind of contrast in the differences of style, and how does it sort of affect the game when they run into each other?
I just think that it makes both teams focus more. It's all about your mindset going into the game. I feel like you have to adapt depending on what each team brings, and Washington brings Plum, who obviously can do everything, Osahor, who is a great three-point shooter, but she's also a post and leading rebounder in the country. So I feel like we have to do our job on trying to stop those two or limiting their touches. But with them, I feel like it's a difficulty for them because they don't know who's going to go off on our team because we're so deep. They don't know who's gonna have the game that's just setting other people up. They just don't know what their role's going to be. They don't know who on our team's going to shoot. They don't know who's going to drive because I feel like we have just such a versatile team who can do a bunch of things, and it's hard to get teams who are really prepared for us. I feel like because we're just so versatile, I guess.
We're on the front left.
Blair, more so than the lineup changes, do you feel like that 2-week break was a big deal for you guys to get a chance to kind of reset and kind of refocus on the tournament?
I do. I felt like we had a lot of things that we need to work on. Sometimes when you play so many games, you lose some of your habits that you've worked on all year. So we had to reestablish those habits defensively and offensively, but we also had to focus on scoring. I feel like we kind of got into this period where we weren't scoring as much, or it was just because of the small things, not rubbing off on screens, not setting your teammates up right, or not communicating, just small things that we had to fix in practice. And it's showing that when you pay attention to the small things, the big picture on offense and defense comes together better. So I do feel like that the 2-week period really helped us look ourselves in the mirror and figure out what wasn't going right and what was going right. And I feel like we've adapted really well.
Further questions for our student athletes? We got a question on the middle left.
Hey, Victoria, how many cowbells can we expect to hear tomorrow night?
I don't think y'all hear cowbells, so they're not allowed in the arena. So if they were allowed, I'm pretty sure y'all will hear a lot. But so you'll probably hear a lot of our fans.
Anything else for our student athletes? One last time. Anything else? Okay, ladies, good luck tomorrow night, and we'll see you after the game.
Thank you.
Good luck. And please watch your step, okay?